Hi there, everybody. I'm making fringes for my new pattern, my new scarf. So what it is, I can show it. It's brand new design that I just. It's kind of a skinny scarf, but it's really, really long, really long. So what I'm doing is I'm putting fringes on the end, and so far I've got the yellow one on. And I thought I would sit and finish making my fringes here. See what the other end is. The other one end has green on there and some yellow. These are all in fall colors, as you can see. And if it looks familiar, it's because it's called a Happy Hippie scarf. So I've used the stitches that I've used in my Happy Hippie sweater. And I'm really excited. I've been shooting the video as I go along. I wrote up the pattern yesterday and it's all on my computer. So I shot the video yesterday. I just want to do these fringes and then I can finish off my tutorial. Hi, Jackie. Oh, you need one to go with your Happy Hippie sweater. Yeah. I just thought you can use your bright colors if you want to. I just chose to use these ones because it's for a fall blog hop that's coming out next month. And the organizer needs the photographs. And I hadn't finished the scarf yet. So I thought I better get it finished. So I thought, well, what better way to do that while I'm working, come on and share some time with you guys. So what I'm using to make my fringes is just this card. I sometimes have a book, whatever I have handy. I did have, when I used to do tassels, like I can show you, I did some tassel hangings. I'll just, excuse me. So I went through a phase of doing like a lot of tassel wall hangings. And I did have pieces of cardboard cut to different lengths for all the different styles of tassel wall hangings that I was working on. I've got a black one that's on a live, like a real proper branch from a tree that looks pretty cool. It's over on my other wall. I went through a phase of doing a lot of woven on just looms, sort of free woven wall hangings. And so I had a lot of little cards that were perfect for making tassels, but I'm just going to use this one. Thank you. So I'm going to do the different, on each end of the scarf, there's different stripes. And so what I'm doing is I'm matching the tassels to the stripes. So this one's got the yellow. I have done the green on the other end, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work along this one. So I'm going to do my tassels for the pumpkin. The fringes, really, they're not tassels. Tassels need to be thicker. Fringes, you only need about 3 strands. So I'm going to go, I'm just sort of putting it on there and having the loose end down there. Then I've gone around once, twice, do it loosely 3 times. That's 1 tassel. Once, twice, 3 times. That's another tassel. That's one side done. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 tassel for the other side. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 fringe, not a tassel, for the other side. So then this is the side. Get my scissors out. This is the one where I started, where the loose end is. So that's where I'm going to cut this one off. And then I go to the end where the loose ends aren't. Oh, no, I do it where the loose ends are, of course. What are you thinking, Pamela? Okay, so this is where I cut. Right, and so now we have theoretically got, if we're lucky, all of the pieces that we need to make 4 fringes. Love tassels. Yeah, tassels are fun. And fringes are fun. I like fringes. Not everybody does, but I do. On my Happy Scrappy sweater, I have fringes all up the arm. And all up the arm. And I don't know. I think I put them somewhere else, but I can't remember. Yeah, so maybe it's just on the arm. Yeah. And it's because I've always loved those suede jackets the cowboy style jackets where they have all the fringes on the arm, and I've always lusted after having one of those, and I've never had one. So maybe it's not too late. Maybe I'll get one sometime. Okay, so then what I do is I go to the end where the orange is, and I'm just going to go through, and you've got your fringes folded in half, and where there's a loop at the top, you put your hook in and you pull it through. And then you get all of these loose strands and you wrap it over your hook and you pull it through that loop and you just pull it tight. And that's how much it takes to do a fringe. It's not really hard. So I'm putting 2 on each of the colors. So I'm putting my hook through. I'm getting another 3 strands and I'm folding them in half. You can trim them later. I like to make them a bit long and then put the 3 strands over the hook and pull it through. And then all of them go over the hook to be pulled right through. And then you just tug it tight. And so now we've got yellow strand fringes and we've got orange fringes. So now I have to go all the way to the other end, and you will see how long this scarf is. It's literally 240 stitches long. It's very long. When I went to college, I had a super long scarf. It was bright red that it was ribbed knitting that I made. And I used to wear that all the way through college. Look how long this is. Okay, so now we're going to put this one on. This one's got the green on. I think I left my green strands over there somewhere, but anyway, I'm going to do this. And you see how here I left long strands on when I was changing colors and I didn't cut them off. I'm just going to weave that in with one of the fringes. Okay, so that's loose. It's just lying there. I don't need to tie that in. I can just get 1, 2, 3 strands here and fold them in half. Then I just put it on my hook, pull it through. Now, when I put these over the hook, I'm going to pick up that loose strand that was my leftover end, and that can just be a part of the fringe. And voila! I need to put my second one on, and we're all done. Here. Okay. So here's my last 3. Sometimes you need to sort them out a little bit. Put them in the middle of the loop there and pull it through. And then we're going to wrap it over. Pull it through. We have 2 more fringes. So now I need to do my pumpkin pie. This color is called pumpkin pie. This is pumpkin and this is pumpkin pie. So I think it's good for fall. It works. Okay, so I'm going to get my card and do this next color. Hi. Anybody has any questions? I never know when a good time to come live is. Let's don't forget to count. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. There's a knot in there. There we go. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. 3. 1, 2. Uh-oh, we got a knot. This is what happens. We have to get used to it, right? It happens to everybody. Little knots come along. Kind of like life. You just have to deal with them. There we go. Yeah, it's gone. Now I'm trying to remember where I'm at. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do an extra one just in case. Okay. It's always better to have too many than not enough. So I'm going to cut this. And this is the ends where the loose ends are. So this is the end where I have to cut them all. I just put my scissors right into the end like that, and I just, boom, all done. And then I pick them up by the middle and hold them like that so I don't get them all knotted up. Hi there. Thank you for being with me. It's so great to have people here. So I'm putting these into the end of the triple crochets that we have on here. This is quite there. We could actually put 3 on there, but I'm just going to put 2 for now, just to see how it looks. I'm actually going to put another one on the end of this one, just because triple crochets are pretty wide stitches. And there's one loose ends there, so I'm going to put that over there too. Pull that through. Okie dokie. So now we have 3 of the pumpkin in that treble crochet, 2 of the orange in the orange, and 2 of the yellow in the yellow, and 2 of the green in the green. So now we have the mustard. Hi there. It's not a Halloween project, it's a fall project. It looks Halloweeny, but it's theoretically, it's a fall project for a blog hop that I'm going to be in. And my pattern will be free on November, I think it's the 29th of October, something like that, which would make it really good for Halloween. But I just posted an Instagram, and somebody said it reminded them of a hamburger, because I guess you could say that there's lettuce and mustard and tomato ketchup and the meat. Yeah, so anyway, this is it's meant to be a fall one, and I've made it a similar stitch pattern to a sweater I've designed, which is called a Happy Hippie sweater. So hi, yeah, it's funny how things take on a life of their own, isn't it? So yeah, I'm just putting in the fringes at the end, and I'm lining them up with the colors. So the yellow fringe is at the end of the yellow row, the green is at the end of the green. And I'm just going to do the this goldy what's it called? Mustard. which fits with a hamburger. And I'm actually just pulling apart something that I started that I just decided not to work on, and I'm using a card to make my fringes. So this fringe might be a little crinkly because it's getting pulled out of something else. But anyway, I'm putting 3 strands in each of the fringes, so I need 6 for each side. So I need 12 altogether. Right, 1, 2, 3 for one. 1, 2, 3 for the second one. 1, 2, 3 for the first one on the other side, and 1, 2, 3 for the second one on the other side. I've got some nice sharp scissors somewhere. I've got sharp scissors and I've got dull scissors. And let's find the sharp scissors. That's what happens. I think these are them. Those are the dull ones. So I'm putting them away. And then my sharp ones. And then on the ends where you have these loose, where you started and ended, that's where I'm going to cut all the fringes like that. And then just lay them down. You get 3 pieces. You can see how crinkly they are because they've been frogged. So they're going to look a little bit different. I'd have to wet them up for them to go flat. Oh, crochet math is a thing all by itself. I tell you, it's not so bad doing these kinds of projects. For me, it's when I'm doing patterns and I have to do sizes, all the different sizes, and that's a lot of math. But on certain days, I'm capable of doing it. So that's what I do. I just try and save it for the days where I feel like I can cope. Some days there's just no way. My head's going there. And then other days I can sit down and it all works out perfectly. So here's one fringe. And here's the second one for this side. It's like my hair, it's all curly. There, so that's my 2 pumpkin on that, 2 mustard on that side. Now I'm going to go all the way to the other end, which is a long way away. And I'm going to do my 2 mustard on this side. Oh, I forgot to put the pumpkin pie. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So here's the 3 for the first one on the other side. Pull it tight, and I'll do the other one. Yeah, I might have to wet this one down and try and get the curls out. Okay, so those are my 2 mustard ones. And now I'm going to do my ones on the pumpkin pie, the treble crochet row. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here. 3 strands for each of my fringes. Sometimes I mess with you and try and, there we go, get away with not being even. So I'm going to need to make some more strands for that one because I didn't realize I was going to put three fringes on the triple crochet. Question popped in my wild take. Oh, I would, if it's acrylic, I would be very careful if you wanted to iron it. Yeah, well, fringes, what I think I would do is I would tend to wet it and let it air dry, um, because this is acrylic yarn and it doesn't take, I mean, if you put cloths over it and ironed it through a cloth, that might work. Put a tea towel over top of it or something so you were protecting it. But I would use not a hot yarn because it will melt. That's why they say don't use acrylic yarn for um, pot holders or um, mats, trivets for standing hot dishes on because it will melt. It's not easily melted, but you just, for safety reasons, you just don't want to be doing it. I have steamed like wet with a spritzer and then put a cloth over the top of it for some of my acrylic when I made little cars for wall hanging, little trucks for somebody, and then it was curling up, and I tried that. You can block it, you know how they block, but you can't block the strands. So the strands, I would personally, what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to wet them up and sort of squeeze them in a cloth like a towel, something absorbent, paper towel, probably a towel, and then I would let them dry naturally. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's that. And that's my advice anyway. I just because I don't want you melting your work. Hate that to happen to you. And some people starch them. I know when people make snowflakes and that, right? They have to starch them because you don't want them flippy floppy all over the place, right? So you can starch them. Some people put white glue and then let them dry with white glue. Everybody does something different. That's why crochet is so great. There's no real rule about anything. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. I've got one already made in my pumpkin pie. So I'm going to put another one in there. This is a pound of love. This is a massive ball of yarn that I used. I bought it actually for a blanket, but I just like the color for my fall scarf, so I used it in this scarf. And my last one. 1, 2, 3. And I videoed as I made the scarf, so I will have a crochet channel for this scarf. There will be the Happy Hippie scarf. So we've got two of the mustard and 3 of the pumpkin spice. Wonder if I should try and see if I can hook that one through. I've got some stray pieces that were at the end. Yeah, that can come through there. I was thinking I could just tie them together, all the ends of it, but there weren't enough ends. It was going to look not good. So here we go. And then we've got 2 of the pumpkin and 2 of the yellow. I need 2 green and 2 brown. And my green is here. So I'll get my card. And I need 2 green. Everybody does their thing, yeah. I know people ask for the right way, right? And because it's a folk art, it's like come down through generations. Each person's generation who's taught them, if they've learned from someone, has a different way of doing things. And there's nothing that's right or wrong. I remember when I was doing folk songs with kids or old nursery rhymes or old singing games with kids, they would have learned it a different way, right? And everybody's very protective of their way of doing it, and they say this is the right way of doing it, but actually there's lots of different ways of singing some of the songs. There's little verses that have different words in them, and it's not wrong. It's just especially traditional ones that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Nobody has the original version, right? I just saw on TikTok somebody was sharing about how to sing Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes, and I saw at least four different versions that everybody swore was the right version. And one of the versions was the one I learned. Um, and yeah, it's very interesting how we all like to be right. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's got enough for the green. Does it really matter which way you sing Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes, really? It's not that important. There's more important things to worry about. So, it's funny. Okay, here's 3 for the first one in green. I love this green. Let's put that on here. Pull it through. The first green one. I'm just using yarn that was in my stash. So I haven't like bought all the same kind of yarn. This is Karen Simply Soft. This one is a Pound of Love. I think this other one is a Premier yarn. They're all different yarns. One of them is Loops and Threads, I think. The pumpkin and my mustard are both Loops and Threads yarns. So what's that? What's it's called? The very popular Loops and Threads one. Yeah, so okay, I'm down to the browns. So I'm going to do this brown next. It's kind of I think it's cafe latte is what it's called. So where's my card? Oh, can you hear now? Every Foessa, can you hear it now? I hope it's not my end. Can anybody else hear? If you can't hear, can you please put, oh yeah, you can hear it. Oh, dorm room problems, okay. And what's your question about table runners? I've never made a table runner. I've made many things, but I've never made a table runner, but you can ask me a question. If I can answer it, I will try, but if I can't, I will let you know. I won't give you a wrong answer just because I want to know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. There we go. I'm happy to have your question about the table runner, Lois, if you want to type it in, or you can message me and ask me on like Instagram or something. I have Messenger on there if you wanted to talk to me there. Okay, here we go. So let's get the first 3. I am on Instagram as Caraway Crochet, and all of my social media is Caraway Crochet. So easy to find. Okay. All right, here comes my brown, my cafe latte. So this scarf was made with an end hook, which is a really big hook to be using with worsted weight yarn. But the reason I'm doing it is because I used it for my Happy Hippie sweater, which is like my most popular pattern. And it makes this really cool lacy kind of feel to the garment. And so I really wanted to have like a lacy boho feel to the scarf. I really think it's nice to use that big hook sometimes because it just gives you a different feel. It's not such a heavy piece. And here's my second one. If anybody has any questions, please type them into the chat, and I'm happy to answer anything. Have any of you ever made a scarf, a really, really long scarf? Like this is really long, super long. Okay, that's those three. And then I'm going to bring in, what's that one? There we go. Pull it through. Then we go, and then we pull them off, all of them through this loop. Oh, thank you so much. No, actually, it's trickier when you're working with a smaller yarn because sometimes it's harder to, it doesn't hold so tightly around your hook. Like when you're going into the tops of these stitches with the trebles, it's not as controlled as when you're doing it with but it works up a lot faster. Unless, of course, you decide to make something that's got 245 stitches on it. This is really long. Okay, I'm going to go to the other end. You can see how long it is. This goes around your neck about 3 or 4 times and still hangs down a long way. It's really long. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, I'm going to put my fringes on the other side. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, it took me a long time. I literally started making this scarf at 11 o'clock yesterday morning. I had a half hour for lunch and I was still working at it at 5 o'clock. But by that time I was starting to do the fringes. But literally, yeah, it was a full day of crochet, 6 hours to make it. But it's so pretty. You can make it shorter. You don't have to make it that long, right? You literally you just don't chain as many stitches to start with, right? That's all you have to do. Crochet patterns are, you decide what you're making. It's your project. If they say 245 and you think, oh, I don't want it that long, you could make it half as long as that probably, and it would work as a scarf. You can also make it much shorter, just like this long, and have it as a cowl. You could sew it up and just have it as a cowl, or you could make it this length and sew it together and have it as an infinity scarf that just wraps around your head once. They're adaptable to your needs, right? You're the maker. Okay, now I need my chocolate brown, this nice dark brown here. And I just hope I have enough because I found it on my stash shelf and I really like the color, but I don't have much left. Let's see how much I've got. Here we go. I only need to go around here 12 times. Hi there. Nice to see you, Yarny Life. I'm making fringes for my new scarf that I just designed, and I made it yesterday. I wrote the pattern up and then I made it. I shot the video while I was making it, so I will have a tutorial, and I'm just putting fringes on it. You don't even have to put fringes on it. I just love fringes. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, look at that. That's how much yarn is left. So that was lucky. This is going to be my final one. Two fringes on each end, and they line up with the color of the scarf. So this one is where I'm going to put the new ones. I've got two of the mustard. I actually put 3 in this one because it's a treble crochet stitch in there. This one is a double crochet, so I put it in there. And another treble. Oh, I should put a third one in there, I guess. And then there's 2 in the granny stripes. And this is a granny stripe. This was the beginning or the ending of the granny stripes. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this scarf. It's using a lot of the design techniques of my Happy Hippie sweaters. So if you've made a Happy Hippie sweater, this will be easy peasy for you. I used an end hook with worsted weight yarn, which is how it came out so lacy looking. And I love it. So I'm really happy. And it's great because I entered this blog hop and I thought I'm going to make a new pattern. Sometimes entering into these blog hops where you give away a pattern for one day of the month really motivates you to get a new pattern. Not like I needed to do a new pattern. I've got so many old ones that aren't written up yet. But anyway, it's nice to have and I'm happy. So, and it will be a nice new tutorial to add to my YouTube collection. There we go. So that's 2 on that end. And then I'll put 2 on this end. I've made quite a few designs with fringes. I've got a Freya fringe bralette, and I've got a rainbow fringe bralette that both have fringes on them. And then I put fringes on, oh, I've lost thrown them on the ground. 1, 2, where's my other brown one? I've lost my third brown one, so I'm going to just go like this. Line it up. And yeah, on my, like my boho mug rug that's on here, I show you how to do fringes on your mug rug. And that's good. 2. And this is where I'm working. And I've got 1. And here we go. The third one. Second one is going here. Yeah, so that is that's my fringes done. I'm going to pull this little piece here through. Let it be a part of the fringe. It's one of my loose ends. Other than weave it in, I'm just going to pull it into my fringe. There. Okay. I'm going to add one, but I think I'm going to save that for videotaping it so I want to do that because when I decided to do it at first, I was just going to put 1 2 fringes on each of the colors, but I really like the putting 3 in where the treble crochet was. So that's the end. That's the fringes, and of course I've got to trim them, right? I've got a few of the ends that I didn't weave in because initially I thought I would leave those ends long so that I would just tie them together for the fringe, but that plan did not work out. I needed to actually make individual fringes. So I pull that one through, and then what I can do is I can just cut it to be the same length as my fringes. Sometimes you have an idea and it doesn't work. You have to change it. So yeah, those are my fringes. And I have to go away and take some pictures of my beautiful scarf. Check if there's any loose ends that need weaving in. And maybe I'll do a video, like a little short with it. But that's my happy hippie scarf. Happy sweater is actually one of my, oh, you're going to do that one. Awesome. Yeah, get your yarn and hooks. It tells you there's 3 hooks you need because you need the end hook for the body of it, and then you need some smaller hooks because as you do the sleeve, the idea is that you get narrower. You start with you change the sizes by changing the size of the hook and not decreasing how many you've got on your piece of work. And that's the technique. There's ways you can make a sleeve, but you want the sleeve to be wider at the top than it is at the bottom. Some people you decrease or increase. If you start from the cuff, you start from the shoulder, you decrease, but you can also change the size of your hook, which makes it smaller. So that's what you do in the Happy Hippie sweater. Yeah, fringes are like having a little fidget, a fidget, right? Exactly. Never thought about that. Yes, you're gonna need to get some of the bigger hooks. I do have on the video tutorial that's on my YouTube channel here, I show you which hooks you need at the very beginning, so you don't have to watch the whole video. And I am going to be doing a video later for the cardigan, but right now, my first one that I want to do though is for the sleeves. I've started the sleeves. I can show you, I think it's over here. I made a sleeves pattern called the Samantha sleeves, and I started to do a sleeves pattern that's just going to be this Happy Hippie sweater design. So I've got that started. This is the front. It's going to go across here, and I'll have one of those at the front, one of those at the back, and then the sleeves will be attached. So it's going to be one of those kind of tops. So of course I didn't do the video while I'm doing it. That's my failing, is I get so excited about projects, I get going on them, and then people want a tutorial, and then I have to make a whole new one. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm going to have to come up with, one of my followers here said, Bunny said that you can actually send out a notification to tell people you're going to be going live in so many hours and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't really understand that yet. I have to look into it. And I was just going to be finishing doing the fringe. And I have a custom order that I have to send out to Haida Gwaii. She ordered it a few weeks ago, but I could not get any of the woolies thick and quick in this beautiful pink. And I went to the mainland last week, and I went to one store and they didn't have any of the pink, and I was getting really worried, and I went online and I couldn't put anything in my cart online. And then I happened to be visiting my friends in a different town, and I phoned up the Michaels in that town, and they did have some pink. So I've made 2 hats. The first one is just for the market. This is the 6 month, 3 to 6 months hat. And then this one is for 1-year-olds. And what this lady wants is a 1-year-old. So I need to make 2 pom-poms for that. So I thought, well, I need to do my fringes. I need to do pom-poms. This is such a pretty pink. Yeah, I think it's called Blossom Pink. And for baby hats and things. Also, it's really nice for women's hats, and little girls like it. But women, I buy this and I put a really cute, soft colored, like bubblegum colored pom-pom on the top for women and children. And yeah, I get them from somebody at Warehouse 2020. I order all my faux fur pom poms. But this one, she wants a double pom pom. You know how you put the 2 pom poms on like ears? And it's a double pom pom. It's for her granddaughter. And she paid me and everything. But of course, I didn't get her phone number or her email. So it's been delayed in making because I couldn't get hold of the right yarn. And then finally I got it. So I knit it up. It's a knit pattern. It's not crochet. And I'm going to make 2 pom-poms for that. And then I'll be done with all the jobs that have to be done today. Like little bear ears, yeah, they're really popular. They're like my best-selling baby hats at the market. I do crochet this style of hat and put little pom-poms on them. But this lady wanted the knit hat. And the knit hat has a different texture, as you all know who crochet. So I'm just going to make my pom-poms while I'm visiting with you guys. All the skills we have, hey? Pom-poms, tassels. We can do it all. So I just wind it around. These are my favorite pom-pom makers. I know other people have different ones, but this is kind of my favorite one. And how I first learned to do pom-poms was really the old-fashioned way. Was we'd have 2 circles with like a donut with a hole cut out of the middle, and we used to thread the yarn through the middle of this donut and around and back through the middle. And it was really kind of laborious when you have a huge long strand of yarn that you're threading through this hole. And then you would cut, oh, there were 2 pieces put top on top, right? So that then you could cut between them, and you'd end up wrap your yarn around and tie your knot like you do. It's kind of like this, except this one's already split, right? So that's the one side. And then I do my other side. Yeah, you can do it around your hand. Actually, for I think I used to just wrap it around here. I think for one of my early tutorials, I showed people how to do that, how to make a pom-pom around your hands, and I took pictures of every step of the way. Trying to think what pattern. Oh, maybe it was for oh, it might have been for a pom-pom garland with mini pom-poms, and it was wrapping it around your fingers, because if you want a really small one, you can just wrap it around your fingers, right? But my blog started in 2020, so there's a lot of things on there that I can't really remember what I put on there from back in the day. Right. So here is my 2 sides. So I put them together. And then there's these little clips on here, and you just clip it shut. And then cut it. And then because there's a space in between where you can cut. There's 2 pieces that you've put together. So you just cut around there. So it all starts to pop out like that. And then you get your yarn. And I like to get a nice long piece so that I don't run out. And then you feed the yarn through the slot, because there's 2. You feed it through that slot all the way around. And then you tie it in a really, really, really tight knot. Pull it really tight, because if you don't, your pom-pom's yarn is going to just come out. And especially if it's a baby hat or something, you do not want the children being able to pull out a little piece of yarn and choke on it, right? So pull it really tight, and then I pull it round to the other side. Again, I pull it really, really tight, but this one I'll do a second knot on it. You can feel it give every time you do it. It's kind of scary how tight you have to pull it. Yeah, yeah, that's what I used to use back in the day. Actually, I used to make pom-poms with my kids in school. So I used to cut out all these circles, cardboards out of cereal boxes, with holes in the middle for my kids. And they would make ducklings, little baby ducklings and things out of their yellow little chicks, out of their yellow pom-poms, or just have a pom-pom. They're fun. Never did I know I would be doing them as an adult for people's. Yeah, so you just draw a circle pretty much the size of this with a hole in the middle, and you have two of them that you lay on top, and you thread the yarn in and out, in and out. But ultimately, you once it's all done, you can put your scissors in between the two pieces of cardboard, just like these plastic pieces, and feed it all the way around. So you don't have to cut the circle. So I don't know what I'm talking about there. So you cut round, and then you feed your tie it up just like this. I don't know why I seem to remember cutting it, but you don't really need to do that. Misinformation. Okay, now I can undo this and loosen it. Ta-da! Out comes my pom-pom. So that's going to be nice. And then what you have to do, and I don't have my bowl here, usually I hold it over a bowl. You have to get your scissors and really do a lot of trimming. I like to trim it down so that it's quite a dense, beautifully spherical pom-pom, and before I tie it on. And then I just tie it on to the corner of the hat. Okay. I do have a crochet pattern for hats, like this style of hat for like a baby, toddler child on my blog. I just thought about that. I don't have a tutorial, but I do have a free pattern on my blog. So if you go double pom-pom baby hat, caraway crochet, it should come up in Google, and then you'll be able to make your own. So yeah, they have these little bumps on. I guess it's because it separates the two and it makes it easier for you to fit your scissors in. All right. So here comes, I'm going to make 4 pom-poms because I need 2 for my other little hat, don't I? So do any of you make baby hats, baby crochet items? I do have a couple of preemie. I have a preemie hat. It comes in lots of different sizes for preemie babies, and I have preemie blankets, the Precious Preemie blanket and the Bauble Preemie blanket. They're free patterns on my blog. And I have, I don't know if you've heard of bonding squares. Bonding squares are 2 little squares, about 5-inch squares, and made for the mother to keep one and the baby to have one. So that when the mother feeds the baby, they leave the square from the mother with the baby, and they leave the baby's, the one that was with the baby, with the mother. And the scent of the mother is comforting for the baby if it's in a incubator or in the hospital, because it's a preemie. And then the mother keeps the other square on her body to recharge her scent on it, I suppose. And then when she gets to go and nurse that baby, if she can, or they just keep swapping them out so that there is a bonding connection happening to the scent of the mother for the baby if the mother's not able to hold it a lot. They're called bonding squares, and I think that's a lovely idea. I learned about it from a crochet blogger who ran a blog hop for the preemies because she had a preemie baby, and it was to support mothers of preemie babies. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have lots of different, and it's not all one thing. That's the thing, right? It's all over the place. Oh my goodness, 1 a.m. in your country. Thank you very much for being here. I hope I say it right. And you know what? My live streams do post on my video channel under live. So if you want to watch any of my old lives, you can just click on the little along the top. There's videos, shorts, lives, playlists at the top of the channel. Just click on the live. See any lives that I've done. So thank you so much for being here, Evrifosa. I hope I say it right. Thank you very much, Michelle. It's so great that you're here. Yes, and the thing is, I have to redesign my website, Michelle, because it's hard for people to find my patterns on there. I am trying to go through and make sure that they're in the right category. So that at the side of the blog, you know how you have the sidebar, there are categories, but I'm not sure that all of my garments are in the garment category, or all that my home decor patterns have been assigned to the right category. But it's all time, right? There's only me, and I can only do so much. But I would like it if I could get my homepage to show a few more patterns, because it just shows the last ones I've made. And sometimes people go and they think that's all there is, but there's actually a lot more. And I do have a lot of pattern roundup collections where I've got other people's scarves patterns, and you can see lots of different gloves or scarves or Halloween. I've got 3 different Halloween collections up there, because some of them are pumpkins, some of them are home decor items, some of them are just fun Halloween crochet patterns. So if you go and look in my pattern roundup place, you'll find there's lots of collections of shawls, or collections of hat patterns, or collections of Valentine ideas, or Mother's Day ideas, or Father's Day ideas. Have a good afternoon. Go to sleep. Have some rest. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. That's great to hear. I have no idea when that sort of thing happens, so it's good to hear that people are actually doing that. Thank you so much. I have a few more patterns coming. They've been written up, but I'm waiting. I have the pink cancer hat for breast cancer. I'm not posting it until the actual day of the event. I don't think I posted it anyway. I've done the video, and the video tutorial is up, but I've also got a blanket square that's coming out in the beginning of October. And I have a mug rug. I put the mug rug up. Just want to make sure I'm not talking and not doing this right. So I'm just going to do another tie just to make sure. Yeah, so I'm going to be in a lot of different blog hops next month. Oh, and I have a blanket coming, free blanket download coming with a fireside cozy blog hop. So I do have a mailing list. I don't know if any of you know about my newsletter, but you can sign up for my newsletter. If you've been on my blog, you've probably signed up for my newsletter. And I do tell people about the different blog hops I'm in. And I'm nearly monetized. I have 200 more hours that need to be watched before I get monetized. So all of you guys watching my videos, you're being really supportive and helping me get monetized. I'm 200. I need 4,000, and I'm 200 away. So that's really exciting. That's my next big goal, is to get monetized on YouTube. So here we go for pom-pom number 2, the big reveal. That's 2. I am so close. Yes, I am. I'm very excited. My kids will be really happy when I get monetized because all they hear from me is, "Oh, I've got so many views now. Oh, I've got so many, only so many more to go." And my oldest daughter says, "I don't want to hear about this until there's a 4 in front of the number, Mom," because it's so then I'll leave them alone about getting monetized on YouTube. But you've always got to have something that you're heading for, right? But literally, once that happens, I will be back to posting more on my blog, but I've had to kind of focus a lot on doing my videos and promoting my YouTube channel if I really want to be serious about it, and I do. And the response I get from people like you makes my heart warm, and nice to know that people are actually learning something. Because when I started this, I did a little Facebook, went back in the day when lives were just becoming a thing on Facebook. And the lady that ran this little webinar was saying the first thing you need to do before you even start is decide what is it that is your main goal, right? And I reflected on that. And my main goal was to create beautiful patterns that are easy. Um, for people to use to create beautiful things for themselves and feel successful and confident as crocheters. And that's kind of pretty much how things are going for me. I feel like people are finally, being able to find my stuff, and lots of people are being successful. They're starting as beginner crocheters, and they're surprising themselves with what they can make because they are using my patterns or using my YouTube tutorials to help them learn how to crochet. And that just makes me so happy because at this point, I was a teacher all my life, but for like kindergarten and primary grades. And so for me at this point in my life, I feel useful. I feel like this is a good way to be spending my time. So I'm very grateful to all of you for being here. So here is pom pom number 3. I think it's number 3. Yeah, I need 4. I remember when I got into my pom-pom craze, I did do actually a pom-pom hanging. I took it down. I took it down because I put it in my other room because I had a painting. I'm an artist too, right? And I've just set up my space to be what was an art studio to now be just a yarn crochet studio. And I've run out of pink. I don't have any more pink. So yeah, I moved some of my wall hangings into my other room. So I've run out of pink, so I can't make another pom-pom while I'm on the live here unless I go over to my shelf and get myself some more yarn. Thank you so much, Yarny Life. That's so nice of you to say. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop because I have to go get some more pink. And then I do need to trim all of these pom-poms and get them on. And I also need to take pictures of my Happy Hippie scarf so I can send them to the designer who is putting together her graphics for the October fall blog hop that she's doing. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for following, watching me today. And please do subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And thank you for watching, because every time you watch something, it gets me a little bit closer to being able to monetize my channel, which I'm excited about. I have no idea what that means in the way of income or anything like that, if it even does, but I just want to reach that goal. So thank you. Happy crocheting, everybody. And look out for the video coming soon for this Happy Hippie scarf. And I want to do one for my slipper socks because it's coming up to fall, and that's the most popular time for my slipper socks. So I should do that too. Okay, take care. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all you do to support me, and it really means a lot. Take care, you guys. Thank you, Michelle. Same to you. Bye-bye. Thank you.